Today our topic is how to stop worrying and start living like a Stoic. Life is full of challenges, and it's easy to get caught up in worries, fears, and stress. But what if I told you there's a way to live with more peace, calm, and strength, no matter what happens around you? That's what Stoicism teaches us. Stoicism is an ancient philosophy that helps us focus on what we can control and let go of what we can't. It's not about ignoring problems or pretending everything is fine. It's about facing life with courage, clarity, and resilience. Let's talk about how you can stop worrying and start living like a Stoic. First, let's understand what Stoicism is. Stoicism was founded in ancient Greece by a man named Zeno, and later developed by thinkers like Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius. These philosophers taught that the key to a good life is not in external things like money, fame, or success, but in our own minds and how we respond to the world. They believe that we can't control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we react. This idea is the foundation of Stoic philosophy. It's about focusing on what's inside your power and letting go of what's not. So, how can you start living like a Stoic? The first step is to understand what you can and cannot control. Think about it. You can't control the weather, what other people say or do, or even some of the events in your life. But you can control your thoughts, your actions, and your attitude. This is a powerful idea. When you focus on what you can control, you stop wasting energy on things that are outside your power. For example, if someone says something rude to you, you can't control their words, but you can control how you respond. You can choose to stay calm and not let their words hurt you. This is Stoic wisdom in action. Another important Stoic principle is to accept reality as it is. Life is not always fair or easy. Bad things happen to everyone. Stoics teach us to accept this truth instead of fighting against it. When you accept reality, you stop resisting and start finding solutions. For example, if you lose your job, instead of complaining or blaming others, you can accept the situation and focus on finding a new job or improving your skills. This doesn't mean you have to like what happened, but you can choose to face it with strength and determination. Acceptance is not about giving up. It's about moving forward with clarity and purpose. Stoicism also teaches us to practice gratitude. It's easy to focus on what's wrong or what's missing in our lives, but Stoics remind us to appreciate what we have. Every day, take a moment to think about the things you're grateful for. It could be your health, your family, your friends, or even small things like a good meal or a sunny day. Gratitude helps you shift your focus from what's lacking to what's already good in your life. This simple practice can bring more peace and happiness, even in difficult times. Another Stoic practice is to prepare for challenges. Life is unpredictable, and things don't always go as planned. Stoics suggest that we imagine the worst-case scenarios and think about how we would handle them. This might sound negative, but it's actually a way to build mental strength. When you think about how you would deal with difficult situations, you feel more prepared and less afraid. For example, if you're worried about losing your job, imagine what you would do if it happened. Would you look for a new job? Would you learn new skills? By preparing mentally, you reduce fear and anxiety because you know you can handle whatever comes your way. Stoics also teach us to focus on the present moment. Worry often comes from thinking too much about the future or the past. We stress about things that might happen or regret things that have already happened. But the truth is, the only moment we truly have is now. Stoics remind us to live in the present and focus on what we can do today. For example, if you're worried about a big project at work, instead of thinking about all the things that could go wrong, focus on the task in front of you. Take it step by step, and do your best in this moment. This helps you stay calm and productive. Another important Stoic idea is to see obstacles as opportunities. Life is full of challenges, but Stoics believe that every challenge is a chance to grow stronger and wiser. Instead of seeing problems as something to avoid, see them as a way to practice patience, courage, and creativity. For example, if you face a difficult situation at work, instead of feeling frustrated, think about how you can learn from it. Maybe you'll develop new skills or find a better way to solve problems. This mindset turns challenges into valuable experiences. Stoicism also teaches us to be mindful of our thoughts. Our minds can be our greatest ally or our worst enemy. Worry, fear, negativity often come from our own thoughts. Stoics remind us to pay attention to what we're thinking and to question whether our thoughts are true or helpful. For example, if you're thinking, "I'll never succeed," ask yourself if that's really true. Is there evidence to support that thought? Or is it just fear talking? By challenging negative thoughts, you can replace them with more positive and realistic ones. Another Stoic practice is to focus on virtue. Stoics believe that the most important thing in life is to live with integrity, courage, wisdom, and kindness. These are the qualities that make us truly strong and fulfilled. Instead of chasing external success or approval, focus on being the best version of yourself. For example, instead of worrying about what others think of you, focus on being honest, kind, and fair. When you live by your values, you feel more confident and at peace. Finally, Stoicism teaches us to remember that nothing lasts forever. Life is constantly changing, and everything we have is temporary. This might sound sad, but it's actually a reminder to appreciate what we have while we have it. It also helps us let go of things we can't control. For example, if you're worried about losing something, like a job or a relationship, remind yourself that nothing lasts forever. This doesn't mean you don't care. It means you appreciate it more and stay strong if it's gone. In conclusion, living like a Stoic is about focusing on what you can control, accepting reality, practicing gratitude, preparing for challenges, living in the present, seeing obstacles as opportunities, being mindful of your thoughts, focusing on virtue, and remembering that nothing lasts forever. These principles can help you stop worrying and start living with more peace, strength, and purpose. Life will always have ups and downs, but with Stoic wisdom, you can face anything with courage and calm. Remember, the power to live well is within you. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment or the perfect life. Start today and take one step at a time. You have everything you need to live like a Stoic and create a life of meaning and resilience.